Imagine getting accused of cheating on a paper. Not because you actually cheated, but because your professor thinks you used AI. No warning, no clear rules. Just an accusation based on a detector that's not even accurate. As students, most of us have used AI tools like ChatGPT, Grammarly, and Quizlet. These platforms are becoming a part of our everyday academic lives. But here's the thing. There are no clear rules for some universities on what is acceptable and what is not. As someone who uses AI responsibly, I've seen firsthand of how confusing the situation is. One class might allow AI for brainstorming, while the other treats it as if you're doing plagiarism. It's inconsistent and unfair. That's why I believe the US Department of Education needs to implement national standards for the ethical use of AI in schools and universities. Today, I will explain the current lack of policy and how it is harmful, how the federal solution would help, and how we, as students, can make that change happen today. Now, first, let's talk about the problem. AI is everywhere in education. But policies about it? Not so much. According to a 2024 education study, more than 60% of students use AI weekly, but only 20% of universities have clear AI guidelines. That means most of us are working in a gray area where we don't always know what is allowed and what is not. Now, this can actually create some harmful things. That confusion can reach us some real harm later on in your academic life. A 2024 Brooklands Institution article tells us the story of a UC Davis student who was falsely accused of cheating because an AI detector flagged their paper. The software was unreliable, but the students still faced disciplinary action. Now, if that's not bad enough, the lack of regulation also creates inequality. Students from wealthier families also have access to more powerful AI tools, like plagiarism software or customizing tutoring bots. That is kind of crazy to me. And a 2023 Pew Research Center reports that 34% gap in tech access between low-income students and high-income students. That's a pretty big difference. So we're looking at a system that is not only unclear, unfair, and unequal. That's a serious problem we need to fix. So, what's the solution between this? The US Department of Education needs to take the lead by creating national standards for how AI is used in schools and universities. These standards should include clear guidelines for fair academic use, like when a student should cite AI, how much of a difference in assistance is appropriate, and where the line between support and dishonesty lies. There should also be a ban or limit the use of unreliable AI detection software that's leading to wrongful accusations, especially where there's no transparency in how these tools work. And finally, they should include measures to ensure equal access in AI tools, such as school-funded research, resources, and software that sublines for low-income students, so that high-income students and low-income students can have the same academic responsibility and the same academic tools that they both can use so that that big major gap we were talking about earlier isn't as big like it should be. Money should not go into the factor of how well your student learns. Now, and finally, they should include measures that this kind of policy isn't new because the Department of Education already enforces national digital learning standards, including FERPA compliance, which, if you didn't know, protects students' data online. They have the authority and the infrastructure to do this for other companies. Why are they not doing it for AI? So, with an AI standards in place, everyone benefits. First, it creates fairness. Students across the country would have clear understanding of what is allowed and what is not. And there would be no more guessing or mixed signals or that gray area we were talking about. Secondly, it offers protection. You shouldn't have to worry about being falsely accused of cheating by a flawed algorithm. These standards would help stop that. Third, it promotes equality. Each student, no matter their background, should have access to the same academic tools. AI should narrow achievement goals, not widen them. Not widen them to the point that you can't even tell what you should have. You should be able to tell by your academic standards, not by the wealth of what your family is. Now, what actions can we do, and what can we do to actually make this happen? Here are 3 specific actions you can take right now. You can advocate for AI policies through your student government, sign or start petitions creating for AI use policies at your school and beyond. You don't have to stop at your local place. You can email your university for Academic Integrity Board and ask whether they support national standards. Sometimes change starts with a small question and can make a big impact. You can support organizations pushing for ethical AI in education, like the Journal of AI Ethics in Education or other tech ethic nonprofits. Follow their work, share their resources, and spread awareness. For some final thoughts, let's wrap it up. National AI standards are necessary to protect standards and students, uphold academic integrity, and ensure equal access to powerful new learning tools. In other words, we should go and try to find other tools that can actually help our students grow and help build their academic tools that's not using AI that could actually harmful to their academic process, can lead to dishonesty and disintegrity. For example, we regulate calculators and what they can be used for. We define what plagiarism is, and we create accommodations for test taking. So why do we not do that for AI? Why do we not have a limit of what AI is and what it can be on and what it actually can be used for? Why do we not have actual AI detectors that we know how it works, what they are for, and that aren't falsely accusing students for their academic honesty? We should fix that, and I hope you agree. Thank you. Here's my outline.